Well, good morning. Different topic this morning. I want to make you think a bit. I want you to begin to start thinking about Jesus Christ returning to earth. It's a topic that is very rarely discussed these days in most churches. In fact, the only place I've heard anything discussed at all is on the radio, now and again, End Time Ministries, but really not a lot spoken about the return of Christ. So I want to start off in Daniel 7, and this is my interpretation. Okay, this is just one interpretation, how I see it. I'm not saying this is exactly the way it is, but I want you to think of the possibility that it could be this way. And that's all that this discussion is about. All right, well, Daniel 7 talks about four great beasts. First beast is like a lion with the wings of an eagle, but then it says the wings were plucked so that the lion could not fly. The second beast is like a bear holding 3 ribs. Third beast like a leopard that had 4 wings and 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. And then the fourth beast had 10 horns and was notably different from the other beasts and exceedingly strong. 3 of those horns were plucked to make way for the fourth beast, said, and a new horn that speaks pompously. Well, you can go into each of those. We know that obviously these are talking about countries, but one's talking about a political system, and then one is talking about the Antichrist. Now we know that Daniel's lion speaks of England. Well, that's the easiest one of anything to understand, right? Because, the English flag has always had 3 lions on it. But it has its wings plucked from it. Could this be that the wings were plucked during the American Revolution? Possibly. My take on that is the current events. Obama taking us towards one world global order, and now Trump reversing that decision and pulling out of the global community, becoming a separate nation. It seems more likely to me that that's the scenario. There we were rushing headlong into a global community under the guise of climate change, which we all know is just a hoax. But it's a great methodology. You always got to have a methodology of uniting people, and especially people who are not prepared to study, and people who are not prepared to, where they say, I'm happy as long as it's not affecting me. I'm not going to be particularly concerned. And yet, there's knocking at the door with a great angry beast to devour them, and they keep ignoring it. Well, I think that what has happened is that inadvertently Trump has made a decision that is quite scriptural and removed us from center stage in the end time events. Also in Daniel 12, it talks about a woman who has great wings of an eagle that protects Israel. And some of the statements that have been made recently by Trump, even to where he said he wants to move the ambassador to Jerusalem, these statements make me believe that America, as always, we've always protected Israel, is the great defender of Israel, the wings of that woman. So I believe the wings were plucked from the lion and put onto the woman moving us out of the global community into the enforcer of the law protecting Israel. Of course, we know that the bear is Russia. We know that the leopard is Germany. Plus, if you look at those wings, it's France. You know, France's symbol is a rooster, and so we know that Germany and France have been colluding together to design leopard tanks. Both countries were founding members of the European Union. So it looks like power is going back to Germany for the Fourth Reich. And we know that the Fourth Reich is on the reign, right? A lot of the millennials don't even think about the Third Reich. They don't even really think about Hitler, mainly because it doesn't affect them, right? It's all about us, please ourselves, sing and dance while the world goes to hell in a handbasket is the millennials' theme song. Kind of sounds like Nero when he was fiddling when Rome burnt. So the millennials couldn't give a rip about where we are. And so I'm speaking to the millennials. I've lived a good life. I've been blessed with a fantastic family, lovely wife, fantastic kids. But more than all of that, I've been blessed with an incredible relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. Sometimes it has been weak, sometimes it has been strong. But He never left me, He never forsook me. He always stood with me. He always encouraged me. He always drew the best out of me. And I am eternally grateful that God has used me in major and minor capacities throughout my life, whether in business or whether in ministry. In business, I have been successful beyond my wildest dreams, and in ministry, I have had the opportunity to see the hand of God move in an unprecedented way, more so than most people. And it's exciting to see that God is alive. He's not dead. So, I am not afraid of where we are going. But for your sake, you've got a long life left to live. And the tribulation shall surely happen. That is a fact of life that you cannot get around. The other fact of life is that there is, at the sixth trumpet, there is going to be a war. This is the war preceding the tribulation period. This is not Armageddon. This isn't the great battle. This is a war that may even be transpiring right now. Prophetically speaking, where the war takes place is exactly where armed forces are currently fighting in the Middle East. So we're not talking about something that isn't potentially happening. It's happening. We just, with the media the way that it is, I mean, we get lied to every day. So we don't know the scope or the intensity of what is really going on in the Middle East. But even if it was just the beginnings, war never starts out globally. War starts out by two people being frustrated with each other, like an argument. And then it escalates. And then one sees opportunity. Kind of like Putin, no one pushed him back, and so he just marched in and took over whatever he wanted to do. That's how war starts. And I look at what's going on in the Middle East right now. You can't say there isn't a war. You can say, well, we're fighting against terrorism. Give it whatever name you want. The bottom line is, are there weapons being used? Are people fighting? Are lives being lost? And if the answer is yes, then it's a war. Whether it's a big war, small war, I don't care. It's a war. So, you millennials are facing a war. It is there. When that sixth trumpet blasts, it says 1/3 of the world population will be destroyed. You millennials need to start thinking. Your lifestyle is about to change. Your pleasure is about to change. All these time that you think you're entitled to, here, subject to one of the worst leaders that ever ordered the Satan claim. This Satan is forever. 1,000-year Alexander, 1,000-year reign. There's only one king who does reign, and he is the Lord. He is Jesus Christ. And so, you millennials, my challenge to you is: are you going to sit on these musicians who want to sing these ridiculous songs? And I mean, really, the songs themselves. Yes, listen to the words. I mean, I'm sorry if I feel like dying. I just why she left me, why he left me. I mean, people, could you be more big? Life is not about play. It's a real life. And just be one of these sanctified and holy, not for worshipping God as we've been taught. That's not what life is. We created to worship God. Of what that really would say about that he wasn't content enough to have angels bow and worship him because they had to create a race, had free will so that they could just worship him. Serve. The God I serve loved you so much that he laid down his life for you. For what? To establish a relationship that lasts for eternity. A relationship, people. Not servitude. Not you bowing down and worshipping. And I'm not saying worshipping isn't part of it. That's sin. Sin is a relationship that you can relate to God, walking by faith and not by sight, accomplishing the end of the do what? That's the exciting part. You have to live life, find your destiny, and walk in it. And that's what life is, what eternity is all about. New adventures. Guys, you're always talking about, wild at heart. Yeah, we need adventure. Owls keep trying to take away our adventure. Give me a gun, let's go hunting. Well, bad. The truth of the matter is, great adventure that waits us in eternity. Heaven. No, we're not going to fly out the horse. No, we're not going to be. I mean, your heart is where you worship. Your heart is where you praise. And it's through the relationship. Do you not worship your husband? Why does that not consume you? If you are dating, aren't you consumed? Even when you're sleeping. You think about, you want to be in their presence with them. You fall asleep with them, you're both talking to them. That's what God is talking about. The emotional relationship that is on fire. That is exciting. But people wait. What? Any idea what you do when you get married? You live as two people. Or do you realize that you don't? There's much you don't. And it's not just about saving. Yes, it's the mission. That's because Adam and Eve lay down with the lamb. No sickness and no more. Will you then? There's no one to lead in the sinner's prayer to salvation. But life will be exciting. Why? Because we'll be walking with the Lord. When God said light be, and light just expanded and has continued to expand and will continue for the rest of eternity to expand. There are universes to explore. Who knows the mind of God? Even though we have the mind of Christ, who knows what God is planning and what the next step is? I mean, if he has created everything so different from the next thing, no two hairs the same, no two leaves the same. He likes diversity. And we can be part of that future. We can be part of the rest of eternity, doing